Okay guys, so in this video we're going to take you through 10 home workout mistakes that pretty much everyone is making at the moment. So point number one is not using the environment and not using what you have around you. Okay, so we don't have a gym, but that's no excuse. You have the outdoors, you have your house, you might have a playground in the park where you can do pull-ups. Look at like what you have around you and utilize that and use your mind creatively. Like that's the reality of the situation, is that this is just more of a challenge where you need to think about, okay, how can I replicate like a decline barbell press, for example. Okay, let's do a press up with the feet like high up on the wall, or do like a press up with your heels up on a chair. Like you can manipulate your body to get the same position as pretty much every other exercise. You just need to think about what it is you're really trying to do in terms of like a movement pattern, and how can you replicate that with the environment around you. So that's point number one. Point number two is trying to overcompensate not having a gym with exercises that are far too difficult for you. So for example, if you're very new to training and you're fairly new when you're in the gym, like coming to working out at home and now trying to do something like a single arm press up or doing a pistol squat, it's going to be very difficult, and you're going to be overreaching your skill ability and your strength ability. So you really need to be aware of what you're doing and stay within the realm of what you can do. Otherwise you risk terrible form and not actually achieving any muscular growth which you're trying to achieve. And secondly, there's a high risk of potential injury even with bodyweight workouts if you're trying to do exercises you can't control the end range of motion and you don't have the key things we look for, which is stability and also mobility within the ranges of motion. So that's point number two. Point number three is not including enough exercise variety. So this is one of the reasons why with a lot of clients who work with myself and the others at CJ Coaching, we recommend buying a few small pieces of equipment, so like a resistance bands, a kettlebell, a set of dumbbells, just to give you some more variety. Because let alone from a mental standpoint, your body having different movement patterns and different types of loading patterns will help you have more progress over a period of time than just doing press-ups every day, doing lunges, body weight every day. It's going to get very repetitive mentally and also for your body, and your body will know what's coming. Your body is the most adaptable machine in the world, and it will adapt to the type of training you're doing. And if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and then you're also not getting results, this is probably why. Point number four, now this is quite common, and I see this in the gym unfortunately with people as well as not just training at home, and that's only counting reps and not actually going to failure. So very common question is like, how much weight should I use, Charlie, when doing a set? As heavy as you can with correct and perfect form for the given rep range. So when we look to then training at home, what are we looking to try and do? We're trying to take up our body and our muscles to the point of near muscular failure, and if you can go to complete failure. So as many press ups as you can until you can't do any more. Now if you're doing, say for example, 10 press ups but you could actually do 60 press ups, those 10 press ups aren't going to cause an adaptive response from your body by pushing your body to the failure point. So really think about your training, about how can I challenge the muscle, how can I make this more difficult, and how is this going to force my body to have to create an adaptive response so I can build muscle and burn body fat. Point number five is doing too many HIIT circuits. You're doing mountain climbers, burpees, yes, that's awesome, but you also need to do resistance training. So think about doing like calisthenics work, I can't even pronounce the word, in terms of body weight, doing difficult body weight exercises where you're putting resistance through the muscle, you're getting a pump, you're putting a load through there, and you're actually going to develop a muscular frame rather than just doing a Joe Wicks HIIT style workout of jumping up and down, doing a few jumping jacks. In reality, that's not going to help you get to your goal of where you're probably looking to try and achieve if you're looking to try and build a lean athletic body. Point number six is forget to train your back. So this is a muscle group that can be more challenging to train at home when you don't know how. If you need help with this, please reach out to myself and the CJ Coaching team, or you can sign up to Shred Nate, which is only £37 a month, and it will teach you how to do this. But in reality, training your back is very, very important. From a postural point of view, it's vital, and if you're not training your back, you're going to be leading yourself to long-term issues further down the line. As I say this, the cameraman behind the camera stands up straighter, so that's a tip for you. In regards to postural issues, what we really want to be thinking about here is like a spinal erectors and our lower traps, and making sure we're not internally rotated. So we're looking to be doing things like a rowing movements, pulling down movements. So one thing I spoke about earlier was like, okay, do you have a playground near you? If you do, you can probably do pull-ups and like monkey bars, things like that. You just have to look at the environment you have around you and use it as the tool to build the physique you have. If you've got a table, you can do like table rows. If you've got resistance bands, do banded rows. You just need to think about what you have around you, how can I train my back, and how can I get the result I'm looking for. Point number 7 is a poor training environment. Now this is one of the first things I saw at the start of the lockdown situation with the coronavirus, is people trying to work out in their living rooms or with their kids playing around, and that's not going to be conducive to you having a good workout for a couple of reasons. Point number 1, we mentally associate a certain area with a certain activity. So I have an office for work, I have a kitchen for making food, got a dining room for eating. Like if you're in your living room where you normally watch Netflix and you chill, and then you're trying to suddenly kill yourself working out, those two don't go hand in hand, because when you're trying to train, you're looking at the sofa sitting there and you're like, oh, it's comfy, I'd quite like to sit there and watch some Money Heist, that'd be pretty cool. And then your mind starts to go and you start half-assed the workout. That's why it's very important that you create a separate zone where you work out in your environment. So if you have a house, I would suggest outdoors in the garden would be great. If you live in a flat, go to the park. Outdoors is great, and you're also getting natural vitamin D. So try and have your own designated zone that's your space that you use for training specifically. Point number 8, not establishing a routine. So structure, routine is the key to success with pretty much everything in life. I learn this more every day, and the key to you actually being successful with your fitness journey and getting in shape is making this all part of your routine. So finding a consistent time of day every day that you work out that works for you will be the big key for you. So if you struggle time-wise, something I would suggest, get up an hour earlier and do your workout first thing in the morning, conquer the day from the start, and then have your breakfast. Can you do that fasted? Yes, that's not a problem at all. If you need to know any help in terms of how to set up your nutrition for that, then drop us a comment below and we'll give you some guidance. Point number 9 is about creating the right habits. So again, as I alluded to before, in terms of if you're training first thing in the morning, how can you set yourself up for success to make sure that you get up and you kick ass with your workout? Well, let's look at this. If we, before we go to bed, we get our workout clothes, we get our trainers, we get our water bottle, so everything's there ready to go. Then guess what? As soon as we get up, what we've got to do is put clothes on and get training. You're removing the barriers from you starting your workout and removing the excuses of, oh, I can't be bothered to go and get dressed or find my trainers. Like, try and set yourself up for success. And the same thing comes with your house and your diet. So if we look at in terms of the food you have available, if you've got foods easily within picking reach that you shouldn't be eating, then you're setting yourself up to have issues. If you have nothing in your house which isn't within the realms of what you should be eating, then chances are you can't go too far astray. Point number 10 is doing the same workouts over and over again. So if you're doing the same press-up workout every week, you're doing the same leg workout every week, guess what? As I alluded to earlier, if you're doing the same exercise every week, your body's going to get used to it. So we need to make sure that you have variety and you have progression. So by progression, you're making things incrementally more difficult, or you're incrementally improving your performance or the demands on your body, so you're going to get progress. If you're not doing this, you are going to stagnate or go backwards, or just hack it, throw it all in, because you're going to lose motivation. And that's the reality with why when a lot of people hit a plateau, they drop off the bandwagon. So make sure you've got variety, your program is planned correctly, and then you have progression. So I hope you found these 10 tips helpful. If you have any other questions, please drop us comments below. Please like the video, hit the subscribe button, and share the word.